What's up, everybody? I don't know if this was working right, but here we go. The Raiders lost to the. I'm like the Bears and the Raiders yesterday, right? That I'm just not having a good time and little technical difficulties here at the beginning, but here we go. Like, how are you guys feeling today? Because I feel like shit. And I'll tell you that right now. I feel like garbage. Like, I don't like I don't like what's going on, but it is. The Raiders did lose to the Bears yesterday, which was defeating, right? We saw a couple good things, and we'll get into that. We'll talk about Ashton Jeanty. We'll talk about Maxx Crosby. We'll talk about Geno Smith. We'll talk about just how you're overall feeling. But if you guys are watching me, I don't know where you guys are watching me, maybe Facebook or YouTube. Let's get into this. Let's talk about it for a second. Let's just vent our frustration, because that's what it is, right? That's every time we feel that it's going to be a new year or something like that, they let us down again, right? They like yesterday's performance. We had our highs and we had our lows, and we were right there with it. And I just felt like, holy crap! Like, and we'll talk about it. Like, we can even we'll look at the stats for a little bit. But Geno Smith, 7 interceptions on the season, 3 of them yesterday. Even though, and this is what I'm saying, even with the turnovers, the 3 interceptions, the fumble by Jeanty, the Raiders still had a chance to win the game at the end. It was 24-19. The Bears drove down there, still did their thing, and the Bears ended up blocking the field goal, which later on they came out and said, hey, we saw things on tape. We saw things on film that showed us that the center was tipping it, and we knew it, and we were timing it, and we were going to get it. And that right there, just like, how do you not, as the Raiders, aren't you supposed to self-scout too? Like, aren't you supposed to have people watching your own film, getting ready to stop and know your own tendency? So you're watching your own film to pick it up so the opponents don't pick it up, but the Bears picked it up right there. Ashton Jeanty finally got the ball 21 times. 21 times for 138 yards and a touchdown. He had that fumble. Hey, I've been asking about Raheem Mostert for the last 3 weeks. They finally activated him. He had 4 carries, 62 yards. And he did great on kickoff returns. Like, the Bears were trying not to kick the ball to Mostert. Like, thank you for putting him in. And then JPJ was the talk of the town, right, for the last couple weeks. Like, why do the Raiders not like JPJ? And he comes in here and he has a great game for the Raiders. Like, JPJ gave up no pressures. He gave up no sacks. And at one point when Geno Smith was running, who was right in front of him? JPJ going down the field. Maxx Crosby, unbelievable performance, right? Like, I talked about this as the Raiders going into the game as a preview show, where I said the Raiders defensive line should be able to do something against this Bears offense. Like, the Bears, like, this is what pisses me off the most, is the Bears aren't that good of a team. And even if the Raiders would have won, it wasn't like it was a good game to build off of. Like, it was horrible. Yeah, and he said JPJ also had 2 tackles. Yes, he did. Yeah, and that first one was a monster tackle. Like, he laid him out. Like, it was an unbelievable tackle. Like, I loved it. Like, and that's what I said. I said, it's crazy that JPJ. I'm glad that we have JPJ back, so we could see him tackle. Like that's the crazy thing. But anyways, let's get into this game. Geno Smith, 14 of 21, 117 yards. Ridiculous, right? That's ridiculous stats for a quarterback one. And like, Raider fans, we thought we saw some bad quarterback play last year, and it's just continuing again this year. Like, the Raiders gave up a 3rd-round pick for Geno Smith, hoping that we could. And let's not say that Geno was crap his whole career. Like, he had some good years in Seattle, and I don't know if he's just struggling with the Chip Kelly offense, or if he's overconfident, or what the hell he's trying to do. But he's trying to force some of these these passes into the double coverage, triple coverage, and it's always like when he's trying to go after Jacoby Myers. It always seems like he's trying to find Jacoby Myers. Like, how did we forget about Brock Bowers? How did we like a lot of these play designs are good, and some of them take a little bit too long to develop. But Trey Tucker is open a lot of this time, and he's not finding Trey Tucker, and that's pissing me off. But anyways, you guys all saw what happened yesterday. The block field goal. The block field goal. The Raiders had 357 yards. Like 250 of that was rushing, right? Compared to the Bears, 271. The Raiders' defense was there, but it was just a total collapse and not a total full game for the Raiders at the end. When you average 7.7 yards a carry, your team should be dominant. Your team should have been – the Raiders should have won this game easily, and that's what pisses me off is they allowed the Bears to hang around. Drew Martinez making a good point right here. I don't know why that Drew Martinez saying Jeanty back to his old stance. Remember in the offseason when Chip Kelly wanted him to bend over and he said 6 inches wasn't a big deal? Well, I guess it was, right? Because Jeanty was back to his Michael Myers stance, standing straight up, and took it to the house 64 yards. I don't know. Like he's asking, do I think the stance makes a difference? It must have, right? Like why fix something that's not broke? That's what I would go with. If Jeanty has been doing it his whole life, his whole career, and it worked at one level, why try to change it? Because I talked about it when he did it, and I said Jeanty would probably be thinking about it more in his head than anything else. Like, oh, is the coach going to get mad at me because I'm not standing up? So it could have made a different, it could have got to him. It could have been in his head a little bit. Bench Geno Smith, he sucks. That's a good question, but who do you bench him for? Do you want Kenny Pickett to come in, who's the same thing? Like you saw the way Kenny Pickett performed in Pittsburgh. Do you want Kenny Pickett? Do you want AOC to come back? And then, AOC is a statue back there. And if our offensive line can't block for Geno, woo! AOC will get lit up back there. Can we bring Derek Carr back? That's always the popular opinion, right? Bring Derek Carr back. I'll pass on that because Derek would probably be doing the same thing that Geno's doing. Maybe even just running and fumbling a little bit more. Let's see. Let's go here. I did have this for you. I want to show you this right here. I have this. I'll show you guys this. I like to look at Twitter a lot. I don't know about you guys, or they don't call it Twitter anymore, right? It's called X. But here you go. I got this on the screen. This is what really pissed me off at the end of the game. And this is something I brought up in my own videos. And then I found Ted Wynn talking about it right here. 3rd down and 2. Right before the final kick was blocked. This was the play. Like this was right after Colton Miller went out of the game. This is right after Colton Miller went out of the game, and you have a backup offensive tackle in the game, right? You have a backup offensive tackle, and this is the play call that you call right here. This is what pissed me off yesterday, being at the game myself and seeing this. Look at this. So this is actually the play call right here, 3rd and 2, and you run the ball right at the tackle that you just brought in the game. Like you've been you struggled with this side of the line all year with Parham. Parham didn't make his block either. Look, Parham, what the hell were you thinking right there? Look at this right here. Boom. Look at that hole right there. Look at 2 people already in there. Parham is saying, screw it, I'll help Meredith take this one guy while these 2 guys can just run free at him. But why go here when on 3rd and 2? Like I just thought this play call right here was a horrible play call to begin with on that 3rd and 2. So if you guys saw it with me, but I don't know, just something that I saw yesterday that pissed me off was that play. And I was like, 3rd and 2, and you're running right at the tackle that was off. Like, but again, Raider fans, we saw some good things, right? We saw a couple of good things, and you could say this is one of them right here. And I'll pull this one back up right here. Right here. This is the Jeanty one, right? This is the Jeanty big run. And Santy does a good job. He says, look at JPJ on this run.
Jeanty getting a breather here. Mostert giving him a blow. And Mostert's got a first down on the door. Into the second level. Finally tackled on the play. A pickup of 38.
And Mostert, the guy that I've been screaming about, saying, why was Mostert inactive for the first 3 games of the season? And the Raiders can't answer that. Like, Mostert is 32 years old, and you had him inactive. He's one of the fastest guys in the league, and he's a great complimentary running back to Ashton Jeanty. Like that, why were we using him the whole year? Like, why? Tell me why Zamir White and Dylan Laube would be better than Mostert. There's no answer to that. There is no answer to that. The Raiders waited until week 4 to bring in Raheem Mostert to be the complimentary back to Ashton Jeanty, and then we saw the perks of it. Like, it's unbelievable. So Pete Carroll was preaching compete. And competition, right? But the 2 guys that are probably better than everybody at their position, except for, or almost better than everybody. JPJ is a better center than Meredith. JPJ is probably the better guard of all the guards that we have. And he's the only one in the competition. You won't put him at center. Meredith is your answer there, so you won't do it. So you're preaching competition, but you're only making one guy do it. Raheem Mostert is your second best running back behind Jeanty, and you're deactivating him for 3 games, and then he comes in and proves that he's better than Dylan Laube and better than Zamir White. So it just head-scratching moves for the Raiders when they did that. Shedeur Sanders, no. Yeah, because Shedeur Sanders is tearing it up for the Browns right now, right? If Shedeur Sanders was that good, he would have been drafted and number 1. Teams wouldn't have let him drop that far. If Shedeur Sanders was going to be good, he would have done something already. He's not there. So it's not about what Shedeur Sanders can do or can't do. It's just Shedeur Sanders is not an NFL starting quarterback, especially at this time. And then, trust me, if he could have helped the Raiders, I think they would have done it because Tom Brady worked with him in college. Tom Brady talked to him. It just wasn't there. But to go back to Geno Smith, like Geno Smith he's looking people down. He's not getting there. It's just horrible to see his reaction. 7 interceptions at this point in the season. Unbelievable. But Geno, when you say bench Geno Smith, let's bench Geno Smith. Let's bench Geno Smith. That's the answer to everything, right? Let's fire the coaches. Well, who is better? Who can you bring in at this point of the season, 4 games into the season, and be like, he's better? Like, nobody. We knew Geno Smith wasn't the long-term answer. We already knew that. Geno Smith was basically supposed to get us through this season into next season as the Raiders find their franchise quarterback, as they maybe get to the draft and draft somebody. But we didn't think he was supposed to be this bad, right? like we knew Geno Smith threw interceptions, but not 3 a game. Not 3 a game. James, you can go to yourself. That's all I got to say. I wish I could block you on here, but I can't. So go ahead and keep running your mouth, but I wish I could block you. But Kenny Pickett is younger, and he is 15-10 in starter, but I wonder if the Chip Kelly offense would help him out a little bit. I wonder if the Chip Kelly offense could help him out a little bit. But I'm not for right now going and benching Geno. Hold on. Let's see. I could just do it right here. I got him out of there. Cool. But yeah, Kenny Pickett, I mean, he couldn't play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You saw how bad he was over there. He does have a Super Bowl ring. I mean, that's the one good thing. But, I mean, I wouldn't – I like Kenny Pickett as a backup. I like Kenny Pickett coming in when we need a spot start. I don't like Kenny Pickett for the long haul. And that's probably what scares me the most. And his interception rate is pretty bad too as a quarterback. I mean, he had 15 interceptions in those 30 games that he played, so that's not pretty good either, right? So I think the Raiders need to simplify the offense. Hopefully this is a building block into the future of what we can see with the running game, because actually these were some actually good plays for the offensive line this week. Chip Kelly actually heard all the outside noise, and he started like doing quicker plays to the outside, running the ball to the outside, letting Jeanty do his thing, giving Jeanty enough carries to get in his groove. So it made the pressure of the offensive line and what you saw in previous games where you're trying to push it up the middle, you're trying to do stuff. It actually alleviated some pressure from the offensive line, making them look better, and you got outside. But it was the Bears defense. It was Geno Smith, you threw 3 interceptions against one of the worst defenses in the league. And that's when you actually look at it, like, if this was 3 interceptions like against the Chargers, which we saw 2 weeks ago, that's a different thing because it's actually a playoff team, good defense, right? And we're like, okay, he got you. But when you're making these mistakes against one of the worst defenses in the league, that's where it gets you. That's where Geno Smith and the Raider Nation aren't seeing eye to eye. And Geno Smith came after the game. He goes, I'm not the guy. I'm not the player that they traded for. I haven't become the player that they wanted to be here. Well, where the hell is it at, Geno? Where are you at, Geno? You're getting paid millions of dollars. What, $40 million to come in here. And we're not asking you to light the world up. Like Raider fans, we're not asking Geno Smith to win games for us, right? To throw for 300 yards, 5 touchdowns. No. We're basically asking you to be a game manager. Don't put our defenses in bad situations. Like, move the ball up and down the field, and if the drive dies out, and you punt the ball. But to throw an interception, to fumble the ball, to give the opposing team the ball over the 50-yard line and already in our territory, that's the biggest mistakes. I would rather you go 3 and out and let us punt the ball than you sit there and throw an interception and they're already in scoring territory. And now our defense has the backs to the wall. How much more do you have to put on the defense and tire them? And that's what you saw in this game. Our defense was fighting all game long. And then at the end, it just became too much. Their back broke. They got tired. The Bears ran on them. Swift's touchdown killed them, right? It just became too much for the defense to continue carrying them the whole time. And I think that's like, and you can overcome an interception. You can overcome an interception in their territory. But when you're constantly given those turnovers and those turnovers turn into points for your opponents, it's not there, and it's tough. And as a Raider fan, it's unbearable to watch. Like I talked about it. I had the Raiders going 7-10 at the beginning of the season, but this was one of the games that I marked down as a win. This was like we should have been sitting at 2-2, and the game was won. The Raiders had this game. Like there was no way Chicago should have won this game. Like to let them hang around like they did is ridiculous, and we talked about that. But this is, and if you watch the way that Maxx Crosby walked off the field yesterday, like, and now are we expecting it to get better? Are we expecting the offensive line to get better with Colton Miller out? Like, that sucked. To see Colton Miller getting carted off the field, they say it's an ankle sprain. Might be a high ankle sprain if he had to get carted off the field. But are we supposed to sit here and be like, oh, it's going to get better? He said on the Jeanty fumble, what was Meredith blocking? I don't know. I've asked myself a lot of times this year what Meredith is blocking. I don't understand how Meredith is still the starting center, but they're not going to take him out. They've said it. They said he's a center, and they're going to stick with it. And it seems like they are very hard-headed about that, and not going to change it, right? But please tell me how your offense averages 6.9 yards a play, and you lose the game. I mean, and not only did we have 4 turnovers, right? And that's the biggest thing. Not only did you have 3 interceptions, 1 fumble, you went 2-8 on third down. Like 2-8 on third down. Like, whoa. Are we not like where are those play calls? Like, you have Brock Bowers, the best tight end in football, right? We can call him that. We can say he's the best tight end in football. You have Jacoby Myers, who, yes, he doesn't separate. He's not a number 1 wide receiver, but he's a great possession wide receiver, especially on third and short. Like, and then you have Ashton Jeanty. You're the guy that you picked at number 6 overall, who can catch and run the ball. And we're not creative on third down. We can't stay on the field. We can't convert on third down. I mean, I don't know about making Graham the head coach. Somebody said fire the Carrolls and Chip Kelly and make Graham the head coach. I'm not a big Patrick Graham fan. I'm not. Many times in the game, he gets figured out, and especially in the second half, we start seeing it. So I am not a big Patrick Graham component. I was actually hoping that Pete Carroll would switch him out just a little bit at the beginning of the season, but they kept him. That's me personally. Just saying, I am not a big Patrick Graham supporter. I am a Rob Leonard supporter. I do like our defensive line and what he's able to do. And I wish we can get a little bit better, more production, a little bit better pass rushing out of that. But I mean, I think our defense has always been the bend, don't break kind of defense, where we're going to give up some yards, and we might even give up a field goal, but we're not going to give up that touchdown. But I mean, like I said, when you're always having your back against the wall, it's going to hurt you, and your defense is not going to be able to carry you the whole time. Like, even I saw a thing today with Max where somebody broke down his film. Baldy broke down his film from yesterday, and he said, Max had a great game, and we like, if you're watching it, that, like, you saw it. And Max goes, there still needs more. I still need to do more. How much more can we expect from Maxx Crosby? How much more? Like, the dude doesn't want to come off the field. He's in the backfield everywhere. He's trying to make plays. The dude tipped the ball and picked it off himself yesterday. And he's in there going, I need to do more. That's great leadership. That's great leadership. But why are we expecting him to do more? Samoan Raider in the house. We still have a chance at the playoffs. The team looked better. Just clean up the turnovers and we're good. Yes, we do actually still have a chance at the playoffs. But there is, let me see if I can pull up this stat. There is a chart out there, and let me see if I can find it. When you start like 1-3, your percentages are real low. But let's see. Here's the Raiders' chances. So I got it right here. We could Raiders 1-3 Super Bowl winner. Where they have a 1% chance to be the Super Bowl winner, 2% chance to be in the Super Bowl, 5% chance to be in the conference championship, 13% chance for round 2, and as of right now, a 1-3 chance. At 1-3, you are 28% chance of making the playoffs. I mean, that's better. That's better than I thought it was. That's better than I thought it was going to be. So Simone Rader's throwing it out there. He has a 14. What did he say? Where'd he go? 14% of the teams that go 1-3 have made the playoffs. What's up, Billy? How you doing? 2021. Eagles started 1-3, finished 9-8, made the playoffs. Colts started 1-3. Look at Simone doing his research right there. Chiefs started. So there you go. But the thing about the Eagles and the Colts and even the Chiefs in 2015 is they played in some shitty divisions. Like, they're not playing in the AFC West against Justin Herbert, against Patrick Mahomes, and that's what the Chiefs are 2-2 now, right? That's the difference. Like, we're in the AFC West where we're just gonna we're playing the best of the best every single week. Carlos, I appreciate it. It ain't like it's hard to be a Raider fan. It's hard to show up and be a Raider fan. Like, every week you're sitting there and you're wondering, like, is this the week that we can actually pull it off? And no, it's not. No, it's not. But yeah, so I mean, I guess it's better, like Simone Raider said, we just brought it up right now that the Raiders still have a 28% chance of making the playoffs, even going 1-3, which is better because the Saints and the Titans have negative chances. Like, the Saints and the Titans are at, or no, not negative. It says -1 at win the Super Bowl. But they have 10% chance of winning the Super Bowl. The Saints do, and the Titans have a 6% chance. So compared to those, and we have the Colts up next, which they just lost a bad game where their wide receiver tried to celebrate too early, right? Do I think the Chargers are done because of their offensive line? It's a big blow. I mean, when you saw that they've lost both offensive tackles, and I don't know how long Joe Alt's out. I haven't checked on that. But that is a big blow. Like, you have to keep Justin Herbert upright, and and now this is what I was telling you. Like, you have to wait until about week 4, week 5 of the NFL season, and that's when you start seeing when NFL teams, if they're good, they're great, what they got to work on, and that's when the NFL starts catching up on you. When they start having 3 to 4 weeks of film on you, and they start being able to game plan against you. And yeah, you know why you want to know why the Chargers struggled yesterday, and then we'll go off topic a little bit. It's because their offensive line got hurt. They already had backups, and they were going against a solid defensive line of the New York Giants. The Giants have a great defensive line. So, of course, you're going to get that pressure. And then even the Giants lost Malik Neighbors yesterday, ACL. But to go back to the Raiders and to see what we're doing, like, here, and to – You know what sucked? You know what sucked yesterday? And I was thinking this, even like if somehow the Raiders could make the playoffs, it won't bother them to go on the road. It won't bother them to go on the road because every game the Raiders play 17 games on the road. The Raiders are the away team 17 times a year. Because our stadium is full of opposing fans. You can't sell that. The Raiders sell tickets. Allegiant Stadium sells tickets. It's just not to the Raider fans. Just not to the Raider fans that want to show up. People complained about Jimmy G. And we would be 3-1 right now because he has Super Bowl rings. Hey, what about Gardner Minshew? He was 2-2, right, with better stats. Man, it's just frustrating. Like it's just like we can't get it all going at the same time. Like we can't. If our offense is going, our defense isn't. If our defense is clicking, our offense isn't. And then sometimes all three phases of the game is crap. I wonder, like, I wonder if Pete Carroll just goes and like, if he's just sitting in his office today going, this is why people don't take the Raider job. This is why the Raiders have sucked for all this years. Like Pete Carroll is a veteran coach. And that's another thing. Like, we got upset, and Raider fans got upset last year because Antonio Pierce hyped us all up. Every press conference, everywhere he was Antonio Pierce was yelling, Raiders, right? Well, what about this offseason? Pete Carroll hyped us up, right? I didn't want to buy into the hype. I really didn't because I was at 7-10. But how many times did Pete Carroll jinx himself this offseason? And he kept saying, well, I've won 10 games every year for 20 years. I've been a coach for 20 years, won 10 games everywhere I'm at, every season. Well, technically he was lying when he said it because he's only done it like 7 times. But how many times did he throw that out there? Like, I mean, we still have a chance to win 10 games this year, but they better get on it. They better change some things up. But when, like, shouldn't we be mad at that? Like, shouldn't we be like, hey, Pete, remember when you said you win a lot? Remember when you said that you win 10 games a season? Remember, he even said that after Amari Cooper signed with him. Like, that's how he got Amari Cooper to sign with the Raiders, is he told him, I texted him, hey, we win 10 games a year. I win 10 games a year. Oh, yeah. Well, you got 9 more to go, and you better hurry the hell up, because the Raiders play the Colts next week, which looks like a tough matchup, right? Colts defense looks good. Danny Dimes playing good. They got some receivers over there. They got the best running back in the game right now, Jonathan Taylor. Then they play the Titans, which yesterday we saw the greatest. I thought it was awesome. Cam Ward said, "Hey, to be dead honest, we play like ass." Like so I mean, that should be a win for the Raiders. Then guess what? Kansas City. So really, we could be 2-5. 2-5 by the bye week. Then play Jacksonville, who just looked good. The Broncos. The Dallas Cowboys, who just tied with the Packers yesterday. Maybe we can get a win against the Browns. Then you play the Chargers, the Broncos, the Eagles, the Texans. So we're looking at maybe 3 or 4 winnable games if we can't pull some of these upsets, or if we can't get better as a team. Like when you break down this schedule, you're kind of looking at like, holy crap, if we don't fix a lot of this shit, we're gonna be drafting top 5 again. And then what do we do? Draft another tight end or running back? Another position player? Or do we actually try to address the lines this time? The offensive defensive line, because then everybody's going to say we want a quarterback, right? Because we need a quarterback. And there's no lie that we don't need a quarterback. But if we draft a quarterback top 10, who's going to protect him? And then are we in the same predicament that we're in now? Just with a rookie quarterback. So, yeah, okay, we draft Archie Manning. And we throw him back there. Or what now? When he's getting sacked at a higher rate than anybody else in the NFL. If the Raiders want to win and they want to correct this, we have to throw some of this money at offensive linemen. We have to go out there and we have to build our offensive defensive line. And yes, our defensive line has been good. Hey, Thomas Booker. Give some props to Thomas Booker, right? Every Raider fan out there cried about Jacoby Bennett being traded and not knowing how good Thomas Booker was and not seeing what the difference. Like, Thomas Booker has been a bright spot for our defense. Thomas Booker has been balling out. I like what Thomas Booker. And where's Jacoby Bennett? Or Jacorian Bennett? Where's Jacorian Bennett at? He's on the injured reserve, like he was for the Raiders. He's on the injured list, like he was for the Raiders. Yeah, 2-15. That would suck. And I haven't. I mean, I guess I could try to look it up right now. We could try to look for free agents in the NFL that might be offensive linemen, and we could start there. I guess. Well, we could start there and be like, hey, hopefully one of these guys don't get franchise tag and come to the Raiders. Tyree Wilson needs to go. Where's Malcolm Kuntz? Like this I know a lot of Raider fans wanted Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons wouldn't have been the answer, and I've said that many times. Like how do you think the Dallas Cowboys knew what to do to Micah Parsons and the Packers yesterday? They knew to run at him. He's a pass rusher. That's all he is. Oh, geez. It's just the same thing over and over. And then what pisses me off is when we start to lose and we start to get into this rhythm, people want to revert back to where we were before. And they want to be like, well, we need John Gruden back for the third time. No, we don't. No, we don't. Well, let's bring back Derek Carr. For what? 9 more losing seasons? Like, no, we just need to fix and build the team like winning teams do. We have some great players. Brock Bowers, Ashton Jeanty, great players. Maxx Crosby, great player. You want to talk about who not a great player? I hope Samoan Raider left. Isaiah Palmalo. Horrible safety. I don't know. I mean, I guess he's a good backup. He would be a good. He's not. He shouldn't be our starter. We need another starting safety. Somebody to go on the opposite of Jeremy Chin. He struggles with the pass. Like, we need another safety. We need another safety. I actually think that our DBs are doing okay. Like our cornerbacks are doing all right when they have time, when the defenders are getting there and they're doing their thing. But our offensive line, and it's only with Colton Miller's injury. I'm not looking forward to seeing how it is this week because Indianapolis Colts have a good defensive line. You want to know how good of a defensive line they had? They have so good of a defensive line in Indianapolis that they cut Jonah Lalu, who's our defensive lineman, our starting defensive lineman, because they didn't have room for him. Because he was good enough to play, but they had too many good players on the defensive line already that they cut Lalu, and we were able to steal him and put him on our team. Oh, he's still there? Oh, damn. Oh, sorry. I mean, he's a great safety. He's the best safety. Yeah, the Titans have one of the better offensive line, but they have a young rookie. They have young wide receivers. They're just a young team all the way around. Hey, if the Raiders really wanted to shore up their team and they shore up their defensive line, Titans would be a team I would call. I mean, I don't know how serious the Raiders are, and I've talked about this like before where the Raiders have all this money, but I think John Spytek and Pete Carroll know that this team wasn't it this year. I think they've known that for a long time. I think they've known that since the training camp, that they were going to struggle this year, but they're going to put on a face. They just want to be able to compete and hang in some of these games. But if the Raiders really wanted to make a move, I would call the Titans, and I would get the defensive tackle from them, right? And I'd be like, hey, Titans, what are you doing with Simmons? What would it cost to get Simmons over here? And that would but then we're going along with the same thing. Like we've tried to get defensive linemen. Well, I don't care. You keep trying. You keep trying to build your team. Anyways, just upsetting to see the Raiders do this again, to be 1-3. Now the season's not over, and Samoan Raiders is 100% correct. 1-3, we've seen it. Hell, the last time the Raiders went to the Super Bowl, right, in 2020, no, 2020, what the hell? In 2002, the Raiders went to the Super Bowl, right? That year, the Raiders started 4-0. Then they went 4-4. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this because I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. The Raiders started 4-0 that season, dropped the next 4 games, then won all the games after that all the way up to the Super Bowl. Win it? No, they didn't. My bad. They went 11-5 that year. But they went on a big run. So they went 11-5 all the way to the Super Bowl that year. You know who started 3-0 that year as well? The Los Angeles Chargers, who started 3-0 this year. That was the last time the Chargers started 3-0. Was the last time the Raiders went to the Super Bowl. So, the Chargers like to throw all that shit out there about how they have winning franchise or whatever the hell they have with no rings. The last time the Chargers started 3-0 like they did this season was the last time the Raiders went to the Super Bowl. They ended up losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but that's the last time that both teams actually did pretty good. But, yeah, I mean – I just like, I've watched enough Raider games in my lifetime, like I want to say I have, where I'm sitting there and when it was 24-19 and the Bears were driving and Caleb Williams broke the run up the middle, I knew right there that the Raiders were going to lose. I started shaking my head and everybody around me was like, "What's wrong?" And I go, I've seen this before. I've seen this story before. And I didn't think the field goal was going to be blocked. Like, I try to have faith in my team, but the negativity that's there already, right, that they bring onto themselves, that the Raiders bring onto themselves. He said 1-4 next week. And then we Raiders saying it's over. The negativity that the Raiders bring onto themselves, like I was already thinking, I was like, Daniel Carlson's going to miss this. Like, and maybe my mental thing, like, I love how people always say that I jinx the team. Like, oh, you jinx the team. Like, I don't play the damn game. How do I jinx the team? I don't have an impact on the game. I talk about it. I can talk about our Raiders. I can build our Raiders up. We can pump each other up. We can do what we want. But I have absolutely zero impact on the game. Fans have no impact on the game. I mean, I guess you could say cheering for him pumps him up. But if you're not an NFL player and you're not ready for your game already, then maybe you need to walk away. We Raiders said, I thought for sure Daniel Carlson was going right. Yeah. I think every Raider fan sitting there, but Bears fans were quiet, and Bears fans, like, I was sitting there. I mean, the whole damn stadium was Bears fans, right? Let's be honest about that. The whole damn stadium was Bears fans, and I was sitting there, and Bears fans got quiet, and Bears fans were like, "Oh, Bears fans know they got lucky and they got this. They snuck out this win. They stole this win from the Raiders, and it's just like." But Raider fans that were there just like had that feeling like it's too good. It's too good. Like we're doing too good right now. It's just a matter of time, and we saw it. But geez, I don't. You know what? I think I'm good. I don't want to talk about this no more. So there you guys go. There's my recap on yesterday's game. About time the Raiders used Raheem Mostert. About time we got to see what JPJ is all about, and hopefully the Raiders saw it too. Those are my 2 takeaways. And we saw Jeanty. You finally started you gave Jeanty 20 carries, and you got him in the passing game. You started doing quick games. Like, that's what we wanted to see yesterday. We saw it. But can it continue? Oh, jeez. You know what it was? It was because Samoan Raider he left the wing club. Usually he's undefeated when he's in the wing club, and he left the wing club yesterday, and he went up to the torch, and that could be it. What did he say? Daniel Carlson should have curved the kick around the defender. Yeah, he should have. I mean, a good kicker would have, right? A good kicker would have. solid defender. But then, like you said, like I said, I mentioned earlier in the show, the Bears came out and said that they saw it on tape that the center gave it away before he snapped the ball. So they already had it timed. They said they were surprised they didn't block more kicks in this game. The last time the Raiders played a full game was when they beat the Chargers 63-21. And they didn't even play a full game in that one, right? They started shooting themselves in the foot at the end of the game. It's frustrating. And like people think like oh, they see us at the game. They see me and Simone Raider. They see Kukui. They see us all at the game. They see Josh at the game. And they go, oh, you guys probably get hooked up. No, we don't. We spend our own money on this team. We travel. Last night, I walked in the door at 11:30 p.m. at my house. I left my house at 4:30 in the morning. So from 4:30 in the morning, got to Vegas, went to the tailgate, walked around, went to the stadium, watched the game, drove home, got some dinner on the way home, stopped at a place that I like to eat, a little Mexican restaurant, watched the Packer game, and that was another story, and got home at 11:30. And then tried to still put videos out and all that. It's like the grind is there, and to be like, why? And you just question. That's what I've always talked about with people. Like, they're like, it's hard being a Raider fan. I go, yeah, it is. The hardest part is driving home after a loss. The hardest part is driving the 4 hours home and just thinking about everything and your life decisions and how much money you just lost. Like when the Raiders win, you don't worry about that. They complain about us showing up to the game, but also complain about not many Raider fans showing up to the stadium. Make it make sense. Hey, but when the Raiders fans showed up, they didn't show up. The Raiders didn't show up. It takes me 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours to drive to the game. It takes me 3 to 4 hours to drive to the game. Depending on when I go, I got to leave early because you don't drive to Vegas in the middle of the day. You don't do that. Raiders said they spent their entire life savings on this team. Shit, we spent our whole life on this team. I would look 23 years old if I didn't root for the Raiders. I was sad driving home, but I got some Panda Express halfway home and was happy again. Yeah. You got to get that food. I found a little hole in the wall Mexican restaurant, and it's funny. I don't know why I Googled it, and it's probably in one of the worst towns. People don't want to stop in Barstow, and it's actually in a hotel. Like, I guess it was probably their like area, but it's delicious. It's cheap, and it's amazing. Like, I love it. But yeah, it's just the dedication that Raider fans put in each and every week, and you see the same people, and like you go to the games, you see the same people in the tailgates. You see the same people. Like, I don't have season tickets. I buy my tickets, most of the time. Yeah, it's a little Roach Motel. But it's great food. It's great food. Like, I got the burrito, chili. Like, I go like this. No homo. But I got the chili verde burrito. It was like this big, and it's only like $13. $13. Like, I think it was. Yeah, it's. I don't think you can beat that place. I think they undercharge, and I'm not going to tell them that, but it is what it is. But I appreciate everybody who showed up for the live stream. I'm going to try to do it more often since I have some time. Yeah, it was like it's $13. I'll get you the name for it. It's like I said, it's kind of in a sketchy area, and you're kind of walking into a hotel going, "What am I going into?" But once you get in there, it's like, and they have a burrito I want to try. Damn it! What is that place? I wish I knew I have to look at the place. They have a burrito I want to try, and it's like all the meat combined, and it says like if you could beat this or whatever. I don't want to go for the record, but I just want to see how big the burrito is because that's the way I am. It's $34 for the burrito, but it's supposed to be like the massive challenge burrito. We Raiders, if I said I'm going to have more time, maybe we should just meet up and we'll just do the show together every day. Since you're going to quit your job, let's just do it. And George is saying, stay motivated. That's the hard part about being a Raider fan, right? Is staying motivated. And continuing to go. And as a content creator, and what about carne asada fries? I would eat them, but I didn't see it on the menu. I have to look up the menu. As a content creator, you take a lot of heat online. Like, you get more negative stuff online than you do positive. But when you actually go to the stadium and you run into people and you get that positive vibes from the people that actually watch you and know football and actually go to the games. Not saying that people that don't go to the game aren't real fans, but I'm just saying, like, when you actually run into people that give you the positive and say, "Hey, I love your stuff. I watch your stuff." That's what makes you drive and continue going to be a content creator. Because I mean, you can get 9 great remarks about how good you are, and then that one negative everybody always goes on. What's up, Jamie? I appreciate it. Oh, from Alaska. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Raider fan? You're a Raider fan in Alaska, or you're just an NFL fan? Somebody wants, you want to see Pickett or AOC? I mean, I can see Pickett because Pickett is a mobile guy, and Pickett, but I don't want to see AOC behind this offensive line. I don't want to see that. AOC would be like a robot and just getting sacked. I do not want to pivot back to AOC. Like I said it last year, the Raiders were done with AOC when they chose Gardner Minshew over him, and I don't know if that was Antonio Pierce or Tom Telesco or whoever the hell made that decision. Once you pivoted off of him, you were done. Yes. So we got a Raider fan in Alaska. That's pretty damn awesome. I like that. That's cool to me. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed the live. I'm trying to I want to bring more film or more stuff onto this as I get it and get going. You remember he went back to AOC beat Mahomes. Did AOC beat Mahomes? AOC didn't throw a pass for 3 quarters in that game. For 3 quarters. I mean, I guess you beat Mahomes if you hold on to it. But him and JPJ also lost to Mahomes last year when they caused that fumble, right? I mean, we're gonna hold on to one win. I guess we could do that. That's what we do against the Chargers. I remember Andrew Walter was a quarterback that I used to think was badass, and I thought Andrew Walter is going to save the Raiders. Andrew Walter is 6'3" and a big guy, and he's going to come in there and he's going to be our franchise quarterback for years. That's what AOC kind of reminds me of. Andrew Walter. Remember, people used to think Matt McGloin. I used to have people tell me all the time, Matt McGloin is better than Derek Carr. You know who the favorite the favorite player on every NFL team is? You want to know who it is? The backup quarterback. That's everybody's favorite quarterback. Everybody's favorite player is the backup quarterback because they always think he can do better until he actually gets in there. Like, we just need to finally commit to our team. AOC is not. He's not. He's too robotic. Has he improved? Yes, but he does the same thing that Geno Smith will do. He's going to stare people down. He's got away with not like a lot of people dropping interceptions. AOC got away with a lot of that, and I mean, I think there's a reason the Raiders are holding on to him and they haven't dropped him yet. But I mean, if Geno Smith continues to make these mistakes, then yes, we need to move on. We need to see because Kenny Pickett's still young. He's only fourth year in the league. We can see what he's about. Maybe even bring Cam Miller in off the practice squad. Maybe we could do that. Maybe we could see some young players. I would rather see young players make these mistakes than veteran players. That's what I'm going to say. All right. I've talked way too long, and I got an appointment to go to. And hell, maybe I'm going to go get my shoulder fixed, and I'm going to start seeing if I can throw the damn ball. Maybe I can go in there as quarterback. I'll be like, what was that old quarterback, Jared Lorenzo? Remember that big old dude, like 350 pounds, and he was like throwing the rock around? Maybe it's time for Joe Morley to be the quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. Everybody was calling for me to be offensive line. Maybe I'll get this arm warmed up and ready to go. But anyways, Raider fans, it's good to start talking. Sometimes when you get all this frustration out and you're able to talk about it, and I love the comments, and you guys are able to throw the comments in there. It's awesome to see because we're all frustrated. We're all angry at this time. We all want to see the team going there, no matter what our opinions are on certain players or how we should fix the team. Everybody's same goal is to watch the Raiders win. And right, like it says right above me, just win, baby. And we need to get back to that. And we need to get to that mentality. We need to get this guy Maxx Crosby. I got to point this way. This guy Maxx Crosby winning the games and not leaving the field frustrated every day. And that's the main goal. But I appreciate it, Raider Nation. Stand up. No, that's we can't. I can't say that no more. That's like no. Raider Nation, stay positive. Stay positive.